Hey Fae folk, welcome back to a Rainbow High unboxing. We haven't been able to do one of these in like a hot minute. Y'all sort of know my opinions on the Rainbow High reboot. I am very much, open to new releases being fun and exciting, like these girls, but a lot of them just haven't caught my eye, so I haven't had as much presence on the channel for Rainbow High. But today, that is changing because we have two of the second series of the Sparkle and Shine girls here to look at today. Finally, they've been available in other countries for it seems like ages. Like it feels like they had them in like Australia. I know. I think even like the UK, other places had these for a while, and they are finally in the US, which like I do understand that normally that is the case for other countries where it's like the US gets it and then y'all have to wait forever. So I'm not like saying that it's unfair or anything like that. Like I'm not like, oh, why can't the US be first? I'm just excited that they're finally in my grubby little hands. Specifically, okay, let's talk about this. Miss Whitney here, okay? This girly pop. Shut up. Shut up. She's so good. I just think there's something about her that feels really unique, not only for this period of Rainbow High, definitely for this period of Rainbow High, but also just in general. I don't know. Something about her feels really fun and really special and just quite different. I also like the first wave of Sparkle and Shine. I bought all of those dolls because I personally kind of like the glitter legs gimmick that they went with. I understand it's losing articulation and like it's not my first choice. My first choice would absolutely be to like have knees that can bend. Like I want her knees to bend. However, if they aren't going to give us that, then I like the glitter legs. You know what I'm saying? So I was already really excited when they announced these, and then seeing them, it was just like, okay, I need these, and now they're finally here. And I'm so excited. And Whitney was absolutely my favorite. I just think that she's such a stunner. I was so hyped to see her. The other thing with Whitney is that she has, look, right there. She has a little hairless cat. Hello. Y'all know I'm a cat person. You might even be able to hear Reese in the background of this video right now, meowing. I love hairless cats. I've never owned one. I would love to at some point. I know they take like a lot more care and everything, but I would love to get to own one. So the fact that there's like one in here, my favorite design with a little hairless cat, it was meant to be. However, let's not forget about Misty, okay? Just because Whitney was my favorite does not mean that Misty over here isn't also really gorgeous. I think her color scheme is super fun. Again, like it's not as though Rainbow High's never done like a tealish color before, but I do feel like they gravitate more towards the pure blues, you know what I'm saying? Or like occasionally a pure green, right? So to have this teal color be the main color is really fun. I think her makeup and her base doll is incredible. I do think we want to change some things about the shirt specifically. Like I don't know if that really matches, but overall, still really gorgeous doll. So I'm super hyped to have these two to look at today. But before we can get into it, let me go ahead and take a look at this doll rubric. No, I've not gotten a smaller one or a prettier one since the last time, but that's fine. So to go ahead and look at Whitney first, she's going to get a 4 in emotion. I just very rarely give 5s, but like very excited for her. Need to customize, she gets a 5. I'm not doing anything other than washing her hair. Quality, she gets a 4. I obviously cannot give full marks when they do not have leg articulation. Number of pieces I like, she also gets a 5, which is quite rare. Normally, like at least one of the accessories I'm not really into, but Miss Whitney, I just think she comes with such cool stuff. And then uniqueness, she automatically gets a 5 because she is literally a brand new character. So if I can do my quick maths right, that should bring her up to a total of 23 points total, which is a very respectable score. And then when it comes to Misty, she's going to get a 3. I still was really excited, but just not quite as much as I was for Whitney. She's going to get a 4 for customizing, just because I do really want to change her shirt. It's not even a bad shirt. I just don't think it matches really. Quality gets a 4. Number of pieces that I like also gets a 4. She has like 1 or 2 pieces because like the shirt is 1, and then maybe like some of the other accessories I'm slightly less enthused about, so a 4. And then again, brand new character, so she gets a 5 for uniqueness, which brings her up to a total of 20 points, I believe. So not quite as high as Whitney, but again, still a very respectable score. Like over 20 for both of them. Hell yeah. So these girlies have waited long enough to join the collection for sure. Like, not only the normal doll waiting time, but like extra now. So it is absolutely time to go ahead and open them. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera right quick, and then we will reconvene very shortly to look at all of their goodies and discuss quality and hopefully have a super time doing so. So I will see y'all in a moment. Okay, so we have gotten the girly pops all unboxed. I'm still very excited, but like there are definitely some things that I have noticed about these that are just like not quite what I was hoping for. So my apologies in advance. We need to tone down the enthusiasm just a smidgen. This is not going to be the perfect review that I was hoping for, but we're going to go ahead and start with Whitney. We're going to look at her accessories first. So, Misty, sorry, you have to go over there, and that's what the back of her head looks like. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, for Whitney's accessories, so she starts off with this purse. It is a clear plastic, but it is like a quite squishy plastic. Like not a lot, but the like first wave of the slime dolls for the reboot and like the Amaya closet doll came with hard plastic purses, and I was a little afraid that we were going to get that again. I am totally chill with this. I like the fact that it is a more squishy plastic purse. It's completely clear. It does technically have an opening there. It's just like very tight, so it's sort of tricky to get things in. I need to turn her around too. She's like pull and focus really bad. There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. So her whole aesthetic, I believe, is based off of the brand Diesel. I'm not a fashion girly in that way. I don't know for sure, but I think that's correct. So we have a similar iconography, but with like an R in the corner here. I do think this bag is pretty. However, I mean, if we just compare to her boots, especially if I do the side, you can kind of see that it's definitely yellowed. And I don't know if that was how it was always supposed to be, or if that's just sort of what happened just throughout the time of this doll, like maybe being produced. Because I don't know if these dolls like were produced and were sitting in a warehouse and then made it to the US, or if this is like a new batch. I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know if this was intentional at being a little bit yellowed. It definitely is. It's not like horrific, but I do think it's just one of those things where like when you buy transparent plastic pieces like this, I think expecting some yellowing throughout the years makes sense. Getting one that's already yellowed, like especially at the edges, it's not as bad on camera as it is in person. So you guys are actually getting the light version. It's it's sort of giving like dirty iPhone case, like dirty clear iPhone case. That's a little bit disheartening. To move on to a positive though, we're gonna like flip flop between. Look at this cat. Look at this gorgeous little fellow. I love this thing. The little tail. There's no like articulation or anything. I still love him though. He's just so cutie. And there's no problems with this one. The cat is perfect. The cat was always going to be perfect, but the cat is perfect. Okay. Then we have a little CD player, which is super fun. It says rainbow on the front. It does open up, and that has this CD that currently is upside down. So we'll switch it, where it says it's the Prismatics, which is the band from the junior high line. So that's kind of an interesting tie-in. I do think that probably the full Rainbow High doll is unlikely to be listening to music produced by middle schoolers, especially since those middle schoolers are like I'm getting a little bit nitpicky here. I do apologize. But like the junior high dolls are the same characters as like the main characters. Like you're getting junior high Sunny, junior high Amaya. So when she's supposed to be the same age as these characters, but she's also listening to apparently their CD from when they were in middle school. Oh, I forgot she's pulling focus so bad. It's a fun little Easter egg, but at the same time, if you think about it for more than half a second, it's like, why is she listening to this? I don't know. The CD is all decorated and it does actually pop out, which I think is insanely cool. I think that's a super, super fun feature. It's not even a feature that I'm going to put it the right way, actually. Oh, yeah. Because there's text on the front. I was like, wait, does this have to go this way? Yeah, there's text on the front. This is the top. Um, but yeah, like I'm not gonna mess around with the CD personally. I'm not gonna play with it in that capacity. I'm not gonna like be moving it around. But I just like that it's a thing. I think that that's a fun feature to include with the doll. With that being said, the companion accessory is this set of wired earbuds, which I do think is quite fun. They have earring posts so that they can go into her ears. It's very like nostalgic for me because like I grew up using these, right? And then it goes down into the little cord. I have to presume, God, the focus is terrible today. I am so sorry, you guys. I have to presume it's supposed to go there, unless that's where her thumb is supposed to go. But like, let's just try it for a second. I mean, I guess maybe that's what's supposed to be happening. But my brain was like, that I think that is what's supposed to be happening, which makes way more sense because I was sitting there like, that doesn't, this doesn't work. But then at the same time, oh my God, am I just dumb? Guys, I figured it out on camera while she was pulling focus. I'm being a terrible, terrible YouTuber today. But there is a little jack for the headphones to go in. Okay, so then theoretically you can have them on her and have her like holding the CD. But I'm gonna try that really quick because I think it's gonna fit weird. Okay, well, the plug thing doesn't stay in here very well. Like it very much comes out pretty easily. But if we just hold it there, doesn't fit in her hand. So let me try twisting these around and seeing if I put the cord to this side, that helps. Yeah, okay, that can't be it because it's like completely the wrong way at this point. And also the like studs for the earbuds are so thick. Like I cannot get these in her ear. I can either heat up the head or I can just like make the holes a little bigger to force them to fit, but like at least on mine they're really big. But the bigger issue is that like this is such a cool accessory. This is such a fun little thing for her to come with, like this CD player with the earbuds. But there's actually not like a good way for it to sit where you can have the earbuds be on her and plugged into the CD player and her holding the CD player. And it just feels like that should have been thought about. Because I don't know if like the thought is, oh, you're supposed to stick it in her purse, but even so, like, because then it's like this. How is that supposed to stick in her purse if it goes like this? Or like the like I just feel like that doesn't sit the way that it's supposed to. So it sucks because it's this super cool accessory and it just like doesn't sit right. More technology that she comes with though is this like new age flip phone. It does have another thumb holder on the side, and then when you open it up, she's browsing on Instagram. I do think this is really cute. I think this is a fun take on the phones that they usually do and the phone that we're going to see for Misty. Like normally they just do typical smartphone like rectangular block. I think this is fun, especially because she does seem like kind of technologically focused. I think this is like a nice change for her to have the flip phone. I'm just still really bummed about like this is so cool. If I hold it up right, this is so cool. And there's just like no good way to display it with her with these. I wish these had been like a more flexible plastic or that they had just thought about how it would sit, whatever. One more accessory for her before we get into the doll proper are her sunglasses. So they are like clear and silver, much like the rest of her. It says a rainbow on the sides there. I guess calling these sunglasses might be a little incorrect. These are just like regular glasses. I think I'm so used to dolls by default having sunglasses that I was surprised. But these are clear lenses. These are just glasses. So that's fun. I'm always a proponent of that. I just, y'all, I'm bummed out about that CD player. Erg. Anyway, though, to go ahead and look at Whitney. So her face is very fun. I think she's really pretty. I love this poofy bang that she's got going on here. I love the gradient with her makeup, the icy eyes, the eyeliner. Hello. However, she looks like a hot mess with the hair right out of box. Like these two pieces that are supposed to be sort of face framey, one was tucked back here and like now it just sits weird. The other one is like hidden behind the awkward curl of this little pigtail, which is all messed up. This one's not as bad, but then her hair is in like these two distinct little separated sections. And are we kidding? just a couple more plugs in there, just a couple. Not even a lot, just a few more. I just like right out of the box, her hair looks really bad. And I was planning on washing it anyway, so it's not that big a deal to me. Like, I can fix it up. I'm sure that once I wash this and zhuzh it up, I can sort of hide the bald spot back there. But like, the whole point of using all of this gel in your doll's hair is so that at least in the box they look okay. And I have my questions. So there is also that about Whitney. I feel so bad. Like, I really wanted this to be a fun, exciting, like, happy video, and I feel like I'm slowly descending, and we haven't even gotten through the first doll. Anyway, though, so she comes with this jacket, and it does maybe actually come apart like a proper jacket would. What is. Oh my god, there's a tea tie. There's a tea tie in there. Give me 2 seconds. Why on earth was that necessary? Whatever. There's like a star buckle, which I do think is cute, and then that's how her jacket opens to reveal another tea tie, because why would we ever just let our dolls exist and breathe? Underneath, she has a silver bodysuit. I'll take the skirt off in a second so we can show you the bodysuit a little bit better. But to start off with the jacket, I do like the somewhat functional closure. I mean, it's not insanely secure, but it does make it easier to get on and off. Maybe. My hands have been flared up really, really bad, by the way. Um, like, I'm just in a lot of pain and my hands are pretty weak. So if I look like I'm struggling, I probably am. That doesn't mean that it would actually be that hard for you. I'm just sort of a disaster. But I like how this loops like across the arm. I think that's really interesting, and all the way to the back. Like, there's just something about that that I think is really funky and fun. There's like the detailing of this faux weathering all over the top and bottom here, little studs at the cuffs. So like, the jacket is a really sick piece. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I do think that it's pretty cool. It is also, since it's a faux leather, they do have a little bit of lining here. I will give credit where credit is due. That's really, really nice. The fact that there's like a sort of satiny material lining that. I don't know. Okay, so then the inside of the jacket is just lined with the leather. But like, it's all like, you're not seeing the underside, right? Even back here with the arms, there's more satiny fear. Where did that even come from? More satiny fabric. So I do think that's nice. Like, this is clearly a good constructed doll piece of clothing. Just the tea ties. Why are we doing the tea ties? But anyway, so that we can go ahead and look at the bodysuit. I'll just take the skirt off really quick. It is so stupid that we have this whole flap in the front with the R. I guess, okay, sorry. I'm all over the place today, y'all. Looking at the skirt before the bodysuit, the R, it's 3D. This is really, really funky fun. I feel like it should have been connected there. I didn't cut that, just to be clear. Feels like that should have been connected. But like, this is fun. Why is this just not where it velcros? I feel like that would have been so much easier, design-wise, to just have it velcro in the front. But whatever. It velcros in the back. And then we have this silver bodysuit. So there we go. Get you a good look. It is sleeveless. It does have these little cutouts. It's just like sort of not well done. Like, it wasn't turned right side out quite properly, and there's like a lot of excess fabric there. I'm gonna have to take that off to like get that to tuck in. So that kind of sucks that like she has this little peekaboo and I can't see it fully because of that. Oh my god, it's even worse on this side. Guys. Oh no. Oh, this just keeps getting worse. Oh no. Okay, well, we're just gonna leave her skirt off. It's time to look at the legs. Now, full disclosure, when I first got these, it was colder than it is currently. They've had time to warm up in my house, and so now the gimmick is functioning much better. It didn't work quite this well off the bat, but it's definitely better now. So I feel like that way is like not that exciting, and then you turn her right side up. And we got the lava lamp legs. It's definitely very quick. Like, it's quite a rapid change. And so I do think that that takes away a little bit of the excitement because it's so fast. But listen, I still think it's kind of fun. I still think it's kind of cool. Then we have her boots. So they are like this transparent but iridescent little situation going on here with a silver sole and silver straps across the front. Definitely very cute. I sort of wish there was something else on the top that was like more sheer that sort of made it feel like it matched a little bit better. It doesn't match poorly. I'm just a very matchy matchy sort of person in that way. But that's everything for Whitney now that I've like tore her apart and half undressed her. We're just going to save the roundups for when we've completed both. So, on to Misty's accessories. First off, she has a little like lip gloss situation here with an applicator that does actually pull out, which we do love to see. I think that that's really cute. Then she has a cup and the lid does come off again. It's sort of unnecessary, but something about it does kind of get me. However, the plastic on the front here, that's like the sticker that goes around that makes it look like it has all these adorable blueberries on it, is misaligned on mine. You're not going to be able to see this because I'm talking about clear tape. But see that? There's just like a little extra overhang. This is supposed to go over the thumb grip and it's misaligned. So it's like sort of blocking the thumb grip. It's not that it's something I can't fix. It's just all of these little things sort of add up, right? Like when you have $2 and you just kind of keep finding more problems, the problems feel bigger because it's not just one. If this was the only thing that I had any critique for in this entire unboxing, I wouldn't be spending any time on it really. I'd be like, hey, by the way, this is like a slight problem, but it's fine. But it's not because it's just like they're full of these slight problems. So there's that. She has her phone case with a blue plaid like background to it. And then her actual phone is also blue on the back, but a lighter color. And then she is like watching a video, taking a video alive. I don't know for sure, but what I do know is that that is a Rainbow High Littles, and I didn't ask for that. I'm being sort of dramatic. It's fine, but like, it kind of is what it is. Then she has her mirror. So the back is this really like intricately sculpted filigree with this painted swan. And then we have the front, which is the mirror. This is fine. Like, it's not bad. It's cute. Her bag is my favorite accessory of hers, though. I think this is so cool. Heart-shaped bag. Again, it's like clear but squishy plastic. This one looks like it's about the color that it was supposed to be. And there is, again, technically speaking, an opening to the bag. Both sides have RH in this very intricate font. And I like that. I like the bag a lot. So this is the back of her head. I know we're starting at the back, but like, are we being for real? She's rooted with microbangs, or not microbangs. Oh my god. I really was like, this is going to be a normal video, and I really am just descending into madness. She's rooted with micro braids along like the front half of her hair here, like along the part line. And so then that's pulled back to keep it like nice and tidy in the front, which I get, but this is how it's packaged in the back. And I do understand like this sort of thing is done all the time with just like a nylon hair fiber or like a saran or whatever, like this type of just straight hair that they get rooted with. And it tends to blend a little bit better because of this hair fiber. I don't necessarily believe that this is entirely because it's micro braids. Like, I think that you could do the illusion where you're like pulling this back and keeping it sleek and cute and like hiding this part in the back better than how it's been done. Like, literally, what is going on here? The way that it's like just poofing out. I don't understand what's happening there. So she's definitely going to need some hair help. She could be worse. I do love the hair blend. I think this is really pretty. I think the colors, like in the micro braids specifically, the way that it's like braided together so you see multiple colors through the braid is super, super pretty. Like, I have no problem with the colors. I just, y'all are professionals and couldn't figure out anything better than that. Okay. Her face is gorgeous though. That's the bright side. Her face is genuinely so pretty. The metallic blue lips. Are we joking? Like the tealy? Ooh, that is very pretty. I love the liner in the inner corner and like the outer corner. It might be hard to see on camera, but there actually is a black wing and then it's surrounded by a bigger gray wing. And I think that's really fun because it's just so subtle, but when you're up close, you can really notice it. Also, her edges are painted beautifully to match your hair. Like, that's all fab. The shirt, like I said, I don't think it's like the worst thing ever. I just don't really think it matches I don't know. I don't know about this one. We do have a like mesh piece here that is sewn halfway onto this blue plaid panel, so you can see like a hint of her stomach under there. It's like quite tight though. Like I can't really pull it up. It is all sewn together. Even the sleeves are sewn in, so you can't really alter the top unless you're cutting and sewing and that sort of thing, which is a shame. I think it'd be nice to have the option to not layer these because I think that the green, the army green, sort of comes out of nowhere, or at least I thought that it would. We'll get there. But yeah, it's all together. I will say it's nice quality. Like it feels pretty solid quality. There's like a little bit of a loose thread there, but it's not terrible. I just don't think that it matches the outfit and like the vibe she's got going on. Then she has this like faux denim sort of skirt with a darker color at the waistband and then like a little stud, the belt loops, and then a lighter teal for the first layer of ruffles, and then a even lighter color of teal, like kind of bordering on minty green, but in the satin color to like complete the ruffles. I think that's really pretty. I think the different fabrics are really, really fun. The way that it's tiered, it's very, very nice. We are here for the skirt. Like I really just want to give her a different top. However, let's see her leg action and see if you guys can spot anything weird about it. So I can hear you in my comments. Rain, what's the problem? That looked like it worked. It did. It worked. No, I'm not complaining about the functioning. I want to know why her legs are yellow. Because I'll put up the stock photo here. And her legs are definitely advertised and meant to be clear. And they're very, very yellow to the point where, because it's mixing with like the blue bubbles, the blue quote unquote lava, it literally looks green. Ironically, that makes the green match with her outfit. Like her sleeves are now the same color as her legs, but that's not how it was supposed to be. Okay, right. Let's go ahead and talk about the legs. Editing Rain here because I definitely was incorrect. I think when I filmed this, I was just like so disappointed by the flaws that I had found that my brain wasn't working 100% logically. And so I sort of was just like, oh, the yellow is just another defect. I do think it is to a certain extent, but it's not in the same way that I thought it was at the time of filming. So before I re explain myself, I do just want to say I'm going to try my best to sort of chop out the inaccurate complaints as I can, but I don't know how smooth that's going to be, and I might not be able to get rid of all of them. So I apologize for any like jarring cuts in the video henceforth. And also, just if I have to leave in some complaints about Misty's legs being yellow, you're getting my updated opinions here. So you'll know what the drill is as we go through the video. But to go ahead and talk about the legs. They are definitely more yellow than they were advertised in the stock photo. However, as you can see here, Whitney's are also blue. They were also advertised as being much more of a clear color. I haven't had a lava lamp in a hot minute, so like please excuse my ignorance. This might be something that everyone else is like, yeah, duh, this would have happened. I just haven't had one. So like I wasn't prepared for this. But clearly the color of the bubbles is like mixing with the oil or whatever is in there to tint the legs to a different color. I think that the reason that Whitney's didn't hit me immediately is one, because her shoes are like boots, so they go up a little higher. In a minute, you will hear me complain about the fact that Misty has just stripes of yellow, blue, and then clear because her feet are molded and they're clear. So I think that the feet not being so dissonant with the rest of the clear leg color made me like not really realize that Whitney was having a similar problem. But I also think it's the fact of her legs are turning blue, not green. And when you have something, or yellowish, when you have something transparent that is supposed to be transparent, if it starts to turn this faint yellowy greenish color, it always immediately in your brain will read as a little bit stained. If you want to have something be a transparent yellow or a transparent, like greenish sort of color, you have to be very careful with how you balance that and how you make it happen so that it doesn't just look dirty. Because as we saw with Whitney's bag, that one was like a legit complaint. But I thought that Misty's legs were just doing the same thing because we literally had already seen that that was going to be happening, that like Whitney's bag was discolored. And so I was like, oh, so are Misty's legs.
Not necessarily. Like, I do think what is happening is just like I said with how Whitney's legs are turning blue because she has the clear oil, and then like the deeper, more royal blue bubbles in it. The bubbles are tinting the oil and making it look blue. But because Misty has this more tealy color, it's tinting towards yellow and green, and it's just, I guess what I'm trying to get at, sorry, I'm yapping way too much, is that I do think my complaint of them being like damaged in some way or messed up is inaccurate. And I even after filming this went and finally watched other people's reviews of these, and they all had like a similar sort of situation going on. So like it isn't a defect, it's just how it mixes. But I will stand by the fact that this is still a problem, just maybe to a lesser degree. One, because the stock photos, I'm not going to say they're deceptive, okay? Like, I'm not going to go that far. But I do think that they definitely picked stock photos with the legs looking as clear as possible so that you would think that that was what you were getting. But then the other thing is when you're designing the product and you realize at some point, because they had to have seen at some point, right? That like the legs were mixing. And so they had to have realized that they were going to look a little bit yellow, and clear-ish yellow is going to look a little bit dirty. I feel like they should have thought about the color that they put in there for her. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky, but I just wanted to hop in and at length explain that I was technically incorrect to complain about the legs in the sense that it's not a manufacturing error. It's not like anything bad is going on. But I do think it's just a bit of a design flaw that your doll is inherently going to look quite aged because you're playing with her.
Then her shoes are these little like high heeled, wedge slip ons. I do like how below the arch they have like a cutout. I think that's kind of fun and makes them more unique and interesting. I also just, I don't know. I know that these slip ons are sort of impractical because obviously they're much more prone to falling off your doll's feet. But because of that, they get produced less. And so they like stand out to me as being sort of interesting. I think it's fun. This one says R, this one says H. Got a little bit of silver painted detail. That's all chill. With the bag, the shoes, and the skirt, and like the hairstyle and everything, she is like giving me a tinge, like just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of like J fashion almost. Like I don't know exactly what subculture you would consider that, minus the shirt. We're just pretending that's not happening. But something about it is giving me like some level of J fashion, and I think it's really fun. So I was really excited to find her a new shirt and like sort of try to play into that. And now I have to wait and figure out what I'm doing about the body, which is aggravating, but I guess it is what it is. So let's spin Whitney around. I guess I'll give her her skirt back before we do our final thoughts. That would be nice of me. Okay, now that she is like more properly dressed, I know she was covered before, but I don't know, it just felt weird. We can go over my final thoughts. And my final thoughts are that these are really, really incredible, gorgeous designs. And especially Whitney has some of like the most exciting accessories. Of course, now I can't show them to you. Some of the most exciting accessories, but like they don't function the way that I wanted them to. And it does just feel like there are certain elements that don't feel like that much care was given to them, like the yellowing bag, the weirdly like yellowy green legs, the hair looking so abysmal right out of the box. This whole situation with this, like the stuff not lining up right on the cup. I know it wasn't in focus. It doesn't really matter. Like the that basically, I think that these are really, really gorgeous dolls, but apparently the quality control is not 100%, and some of the design elements just weren't thought through all the way. And it's just a little heartbreaking, especially because for me, this series, outside of like the legs, I understand that's like very divisive, but outside of the legs, from a fashion standpoint, this felt so much like Rainbow High getting back to their roots. And like to me, it sort of was this signifier of, oh, maybe things can get better and can be really cool and can be really good again, even if there are some sacrifices made along the way with like the articulation. At least we can maybe get this. But seeing how bad the quality is on these is just like, am I overreacting? I don't know. Y'all will have to let me know. But yeah, I think the quality was not exactly what I was hoping for, but it is what it is. We're going to make do with what we've got now. We're going to see about Misty. We're going to give Whitney a wash, and then she's going to look better when her hair is less of a disaster. So that's what I'm going to go do. You all please let me know your thoughts and feelings and answer all of the questions that I had in the comments down below. Even though this was definitely not how I hoped and expected for this review to go, I do hope you're able to get something out of it. It was either, entertaining, or maybe you were like, oh shit, now I don't want to buy these dolls. I hope you're able to get something from it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed on some level. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.